Okay, this is terrible lighting, but I'm doing this. But I got some Taco Bell. I got a new drink that I haven't tried yet, and it looks scary, but I don't like the rocks in here, whatever that is. It's the watermelon freeze. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
It's pretty good to me. Okay, so welcome to my mukbang, whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't care. People call it a different thing. I really hope you guys don't cringe at me. I mean, it's okay. I cringe at myself like all the time. So, yum, yum, yum. Taco Bell. If you know me, you know that I love Taco Bell. Taco Bell's my life. I will eat Taco Bell all the time if I need to. Not really, because I don't know, sometimes Taco Bell doesn't treat you well, but ooh, I got Cinnabon Delights. These are amazing. That'll be my dessert. Cheesy Gordita Crunch is my life. And I got a Dorito Loco Taco. So yeah. I don't really like the candy in here. No, Cheesy Gordita Crunch is the best, so I'll save that in a bit. We'll eat this. So I decided to do a story time also because, I mean, it's kind of awkward if I just sit here and eat the whole time. Ew. And I feel like it'd be less awkward if we do story time. And that's what people who do mukbangs, whatever, do anyways. So I'm just gonna tell you the story of how me and Isaiah met, basically. I freaking love Taco Bell. So Isaiah's not where I'm from. I mean, okay, so Isaiah obviously is from here, but he would move different towns like multiple times. So when we met, he wasn't from Santa Paula. He lived in Camarillo. Yeah, basically. I mean, I want to not gain weight, but this is just so good. So delicious. So yeah. Isaiah had friends in town, and I obviously lived in town. And one day, my brother was playing, my brother plays basketball. All of them play basketball. Isaiah, his friends, they all play basketball. And my brother played for Santa Paula High. So did Isaiah's friends. And one day, and also, I was a cheerleader freshman year. So I had to be there at the game anyways, because I was cheering for JV, but also I had to be at the varsity game because my brother played. And Isaiah went to go watch his friends play, which were on the same team as my brother. And you know, at first when the game started, I didn't even notice him. Like, I was like on my own, like, oh, look at me, I'm cute or whatever, but yeah, I was just minding my own business. I mean, I'm not going to say names, but I remember this girl was, like, talking about Isaiah, and I didn't even think about it until, like, you know, later on, obviously. She's like, oh, my OMG, like, dibs on him, he's cute, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, yeah, like, I don't really care. I wasn't really paying attention, okay? Then, you know, the game ends. Here's where it gets awesome. The game ends and stuff. And I'm like in my own world, you know, minding my own business, talking to my friends, whatever. These are so good. I mean, I haven't had these in a long time. And eating them again, it's so delicious. I forgot how good it was. Minding my own business. And then I look and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a cute guy. And then it was Isaiah, obviously, my boyfriend. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, hey, there's a guy over there. And then a little bit later, my mom was like, Tori, the hot guy's looking at you. Well, obviously not hot guy. That'd be weird for my mom to say. She's like, Tori, that guy's looking at you. And I was like, where? And then I didn't turn around because he was looking at me. I was scared. I was like, okay, shoot. Like, what do I do? What do I do? Excuse me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with my friend over here. He's shooting, playing basketball or whatever. And I was like, hey, pass me the ball, because I was like, oh, I want to impress him. I used to play basketball. What if he's into basketball? All that stuff. Like, he looks like a basketball guy. And the types of guys that I would date are, right, they're not cute. They all look the same, have the same haircut. They're not white, but they have light skin. I was like, ew, like, why? Like, why do I like these guys? But Isaiah is totally different. He's like tan, has curly hair. This is when he had like kid and play hair, but not really. It was like cute curls. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So when I went to play ball with my friends, basketball, I kind of like took a glance and I was like, ooh, he's cute. Oh my god. And so, I was shooting the ball, whatever. And then, my friends, they're like, oh, like, let's play basketball, blah, 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 wanna win, but I was like, no. And I looked, and I was like, okay, like, why not? So, I played with them. I don't want to talk with food in my mouth, because it's kind of gross. So I played with them, and it was a while. My brother came out of the gym and stuff, so we were getting ready to leave after the game, and I look back. Isaiah was gone. He was gone, and I thought that was the end. I was like, damn, never gonna see this guy again. He was a cute stranger, and now he's gone. He's probably from whatever school they're playing. So I was like, this is it. That's it. I'm sad. Whatever. So I tell my friends, I'm like, there's some cute guy. Oh my gosh, he's gone. He was a cute stranger. And my friends are like, dang, that was your shot. Should have shoot your shot. I was sad. But new to chew. So we're leaving. I don't know why. I don't remember my brother being in the car. Was he not in the car that day?
No, he was coming back later.
Oh. So I had no idea Isaiah was following me on Instagram and I wasn't. That's kind of sad. So we're on our way home, and literally my house is just like a block from the high school. But for some reason we drove. Why?
We always drove when it was dark. We never walked.
That's true. Okay. So as we're driving, also we're dropping off my friends. My friends don't remember this at all except for one of them. But I remember we're at the stop right here, and I got a message and I was like, oh, who the heck is that? Like, who's texting me at freaking, 9, I think? It's like, no one, I have no one to text. My friends are right here. Like, why would they text me and stuff? So I check. It's freaking Isaiah. I was like, what the? I flipped. I was like, oh my god, the hot guy messaged me, blah, blah, blah. And my mom was like, what? And all my friends were like, what do you mean? Like, what? I was like, he messaged me, oh my gosh, like, let me read it, hold on. And I literally was like pounding. I was like, OMG, like, he's so hot, oh my god. And then, so I check, and he was like, hey, I saw you at the game, like, I just want to tell you you're so beautiful, and maybe we can talk sometime. And so we talked a little bit that night, but he fell asleep. I remember he texted me the next morning. He's like, oh, hey, I'm sorry I fell asleep. But that was how we met. I think it's crazy. I remember, like, it was yesterday. Yeah. So I don't know. This is what Isaiah told me, like, before all of this. Like, obviously, okay, so I was a freshman at the time, and he was a junior. And we went to different schools. So this is what he had told me, that he saw me before all of this. And I was like, what? Like, excuse me, miss. Sir, I mean. Okay. So, yeah, he said he saw me before all this, like, over summer, me going into my freshman year. Because he played summer league at my high school with all his friends. I guess he was friends with my brother, but I mean, they're cool now, but I was just saying I never knew that. So I was walking to my cheer practice, and this is what Isaiah told me, because I had no idea. I didn't even know I was being stared at. I had no idea. I was so out of it. The thing with me is I'm never, like, I'm always lost. Okay, so I'm all walking, minding my own business, whatever. And he said that he saw me, and he was like, oh my gosh, like, who is that? And all his friends were like, oh yeah, that's Tori, Nava, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, dang, like, she's cute. And then my brother's friends come out, they're like, no, like, you can't mess with that. And he's like, why? They're like, that's Nava's little sister. And then he was like, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's like, dude, I'm gonna get her number. Like, he's just saying how he's gonna talk to me and stuff. And I was like, no, you ain't, boy. Like, no. And then he did. So, anyways. So, yeah, he was confident and stuff. And he said that day he had followed me on Instagram, but I didn't follow him back. That's sad, huh? Totally dissed him. But at that time, I did have a boyfriend. Oh. But, that's middle school stuff. So, anyways, so, yeah, I didn't follow him until that night. He, like, what? I think 8 months later or 5. I don't know. Yeah, so, that's when I followed him, was when he DM'd me back in January 2015. Yes, I remember. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember the year and the month. I remember in the texts, or in the DM, I was like, oh, why didn't you come up to me and say hi? He was like, I was so shy. The rest is history. Not really. Just kidding. So, the thing with me, my freshman year, I was always in trouble. I never got the best grades, but, you know, I was always grounded or something. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
I was always in trouble. And I remember Isaiah always asked me to go on a date. I told him no, and he just always thought, like, I was just, like, trying to play hard to get. But I wasn't. It's because I was grounded. I didn't tell him no. I obviously said, well, I can't. I'm grounded. 15-year-old girl. I'm grounded. Yeah. And I said I really can't go out. And I asked my mom, and I was like, once you get your grades up. That's my dad. My dad obviously said no. So he kept trying, and I said I can't. Finally took like 5 months later. So January, February, March, April, May. No. Oh no, April. That's when I watched Furious 5 or whatever. Yeah. So that was our first date. And it was the funniest thing. I remember I asked my dad, okay, can I go to the movies? And he knows, like, I had been bugging him to hang out with this guy for the longest time, for months. And then he finally said yes. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, you know that song when, like, the heavens open and goes, yeah, that's how it was. I was like, oh my gosh, like, is this my dad? Like, my mom could have said yes first, but it was my dad. Like, what? I was like, WTF. I didn't say that. I mean, I was just like, oh, really? Like, I remember telling him, I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, but you gotta take your sister. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I'm going. I wasn't even that mad. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. You know, I could take her, you know, her friend too. And I was getting ready. I never wear makeup, okay? At the time, I never wore makeup. I still don't wear makeup. Unless it's special occasions, but yeah, I never wore makeup. And I had like old makeup from my stepmom that we had in a little box, and I used everything that was in there. So I used like a lot of orangey bronze all over, so I look orange. And I put on like mascara, I curled my eyelashes, everything. I don't know what the hell got into me. I was nervous. I was really insecure about myself at the time too. And I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta look good. My hair, I didn't even do my freaking hair. That's what pissed me off even more. And I looked like a freaking mess, a troll mess, literally. I was orange. My hair was a mess. I just don't understand how he even wanted to keep talking too, but it was okay anyways. So, anyways, where was I? Okay. Yeah, so we're on our way. My heart's freaking gonna fall out of my ass, literally. My heart was beating fast. And at the times I used to get panic attacks. I swear to you, I almost had one. I was like, okay, this is way too scary. Like, I'm gonna leave. That's how scared I was. And he wasn't there. I was like, oh, thank God. He's not here yet. This is gonna work out perfectly. I mean, then again, I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's ditching me. This sucks ass. But anyways, I was waiting in Subway with my sister and her friend. We were in Subway waiting, and I'm like telling my sister, like, okay, maybe this is bad. Maybe this is not a good idea. Maybe he's not coming. Let's just go home and forget this ever happened. She's telling me, no, you need to stay, relax, take a deep breath in and out. I was like, I'm freaking out. Like, this guy is freaking, what, I think at the time I was 15 and he was 17. Yeah. Probably got there 15 minutes earlier. And I think he got there like 5 minutes after I showed up. He finally shows up and I start freaking out in Subway. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I want to leave. I was like, he looks so good and I look like orange. Like, I obviously didn't think that then, but I was like, I look so bad. Now I say I look so orange because I did. Like, it's ridiculous. I wish I had a picture of, like, myself. So bad. Jesus, it was so bad. So, stupid fly. It's cute because when he showed up, his uncle had dropped him off. And he closes the door. And his uncle was talking to him. I obviously don't know what they're saying, but they're talking. And so then his uncle rolled up the window, and Isaiah's picking at his hair, playing with it. He's all looking at himself. It was the cutest, funniest thing. And that's when my sister had said, oh, like, look at, he's looking at himself. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, this is time to go. I was like, damn it. You know what? I need to grow some balls. I need to go out there and say, hey, I'm Tori. What's up? Just kidding. No, not really. I was like, okay, maybe I need to go out there and introduce myself. And we all have that nice voice where we're like, hi, I'm Tori. Yeah, it was sort of like that, but not that high pitch. So I walk out, and I'm like waiting behind him, and I felt like it was so stupid because I acted like a little middle schooler. I was all, like all laughing, like except my sister and her friend. I was all, and then they left me, and I was like, okay, I'm by myself. Like, what the heck? And so his uncle was like, oh, is that her? And Isaiah turned around. He's like, hi, and I'm like, hi, I'm Tori. And then he's like, hi, I'm Isaiah. Blah blah. Like, he was stuttering a little bit. He was shy. And I was like, okay, this isn't going bad. I'm freaking gonna pee myself because I'm nervous as hell. Maybe more like poop myself. But I didn't feel that bad because he was nervous too. I could tell in his voice. And so we kind of talked. We hugged, and I introduced him to my sister and her friend. And then we stood in line. We were talking about, okay, are we really gonna watch this movie, or do you want to watch something else? I was like, no. He was like, are you sure we could watch something else? I was like, no, I'll watch this. It's okay. I like this movie. And I did want to see Furious 5. I went first, and I was like, hi, can I get a ticket? Blah, blah, blah. And the lady was like, yeah. And Isaiah was like, oh, do you want me to pay for yours? I was like, no, I got it. I was like, bingo, you know, this girl has money. She don't need a man to buy her a ticket. She could do it herself. Even though I got that money from my dad, but... I hate braces really bad. So we go inside. He's like, do you want to get something? And I was like, it's okay. He's like, are you sure? So yeah, we could go sit down. And so we get into the actual like theater room. And we sit down, and I freaking hear Kayla Garcia, the funniest thing. She's all, hi. And she's all talking to Isaiah because they're like cousins. And she's like, what the heck? Like, what are you doing here? She's all looking at me, looking at him, like, what the heck, blah, blah. And so they're talking. I was like, okay, thank God. Like, I was about to poop myself right now. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. And so I was like, okay, cool. You know, he's probably more calm. I need to get calm now. And so I'm all talking to, I think Sophie, my sister. I think I was talking to her the whole time. And then finally, you know, she had left. And so we were ready to go sit down. We were like, okay, like, let's go sit down. So we're sitting down and stuff. And I think we're talking a bit, like, getting to know each other. Oh, yeah. So we're talking and stuff. We did not hold hands throughout the whole movie. And I was kind of disappointed. I was like, dang, this guy sucks. You know, because at the time, you know, I'm a little girl. I'm like, I want to hold hands and hug. I was like, why isn't this guy holding my hand? Like, what the heck? And I think he had left to the bathroom. I don't know what had happened. Or maybe he did. I think he did. And I was telling my sister, I was like, he's not holding my hand. Like, finally, like, it's coming to an end. And I had my hand, like, open. Okay? I was out there. I was like, And so, I think at the same time, we kind of moved over. And then we looked at each other. We're like, and then he asked me, he's like, can I hold your hand? I was like, oh. He had to ask me. He's like, may I hold your hand? It wasn't can I, it was may I hold your hand? I was like, oh my gosh, like, this guy's so weird. Like, not weird, but he's so polite. And I've never really had that, so I was like, sure. Usually the guy's always like, oh, grab the hand and hold it. And I'm like, ew, no. But this was different. I was like, oh, this is sweet. He's a little nerd. It's okay. It's cute. I was like, okay, I'll hold it. I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And we both were holding hands. Isaiah's going to hate me for saying this, but his hands were sweaty the whole time. Then we finally got napkins. He's like, sorry, wiping it. And he told me that it was because he had lotion.
Ew.
But, well, because he put lotion all over himself.
Oh.
That's why. And I was like, okay, like, sure. Now I tell him, I'm like, no, you're nervous, huh? And he's like, no, it's because I had lotion, blah, blah. So, yeah, we finally held hands. I was like, geez, that took long. The movie's about to end in, like, 5 minutes. It ended, like, in 3. But it was fast. It was funny. So, in those 5 minutes, his hand, like, he would let go. Wipe his hands. It's the funniest thing. So, movie ended. We got up fast. We're like, okay, like, let's go. And we're all, oh, yeah, it's a good movie, blah, blah. And then it started raining. And I was happy, of course, because he finally held my hand. I was happy, and I was like, oh, like, we're waiting outside. And I was like, oh, like, come in the rain with me. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah. And I was all jumping around, being a retard. I don't know what was going on with me. And then he was like, dude, like, he grabbed me. He's like, I need to see you again. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And then our ride came, and then he gave me a hug, and then we left. Never saw him again. Just kidding, yeah, I did. I forgot the next time I saw him. I think I saw him a little, like, at the park. Oh, it was a family barbecue at his grandma's. At the time, it was his grandma's house. She doesn't live there anymore. But, and so the park was right there, so we walked to Teague Park. And so we were playing over there, playing basketball. That's where I met his mom. I was terrified. So terrified. Maybe this was our third date. I'm not sure. Anywho, whatever. And so we saw each other again. And I'm pretty sure that was the second time, but I don't know. So, yeah, we went to the park. We're hanging out. I don't remember much, but I do remember, like, sitting down with him or hugging. And so I think my mom wanted me home. So, oh, I need a break. So, my mom showed up. No, I think this was the third time we met. I'll talk about the second time. She was like, hi, me home, blah, blah. And then he walked back to his grandma's, and I remember turning back. I was like, oh my gosh, this was awesome, you know. I was telling my mom thank you because she let me hang out with him, even in the first place. And then, so our second date, since that was the third one, I got confused. Don't judge me. So our second date, I think that's when we went to Denny's. We're going on a date in the morning. Probably not really early morning. I think it was like 10 or something. It's like, let's go. Like, let's go on a date. I'll take you. Like, I'll pay for myself. I'll pay my half. And he was like, no, like, I'll take you. I was like, okay. So he doesn't have a license. He picks me up in his mom's car. We drive to Denny's. And he's telling me before we go in, okay, my uncle and my brother are there. I was like, what? So do I need to meet them? He's like, no. Just act like they're not there. Act like you don't know them. I was like, Jesus, like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, whatever, fine. We get inside, and he kind of points them out when they're not looking, and then they looked, and they kind of looked away. I was like, oh, this is awkward. So we sit kind of far, but kind of close to them. This is going to be so awkward. I wanted to sit, like, this way, and he wanted to sit, like, side by side, but I was like, no, like, you know, let's sit this way. Okay. We're talking the whole time. It was good. And we'd probably been talking for, like, I think this was back, like, a month later after we met. And we've been talking since, like, for 5 months already. So, yeah, we're talking. Food gets there, we're still talking, and we got to know each other a lot, which was awesome. It's like, yes, like, this is amazing. And then, so it was time to go home. I was like, okay, like, we should go. I'll leave a tip. Yeah, we left, holding hands in the car while driving. Oh no, he tried to hold my hand, but then he would swerve and he was like, okay, like, I can't, I'm sorry. It was the funniest thing. So we get home, and I was like, you want to come inside? Like, you can meet my mom. He was like, a little nervous, and I don't know if I should. I was like, yeah, like, come on. He's like, okay, yeah. So we come inside. My mom's like, hi, you know, be nice. Asking questions, I'm pretty sure, I don't know. And then my little brother is here too, so he meets them. So yeah, they hit it off pretty well. My mom liked them. And Julian liked them a lot too. So anyways, we were having fun. And then he had to go, it was getting late. So after that, like, I walk him to his car, and we're all talking, like, oh, we should have another date, blah, blah, blah. Get to know each other again. And then I was like, okay. And we're kind of just staring at each other. Oh, this is so cheesy as hell. Very cheesy. So get ready to cringe. So we're staring at each other, and we're smiling. And I was like, okay, I think this is it. We're going to kiss. And we kiss. And I was like, okay.
Ew.
I was all excited. I was like, oh my god, I got my first kiss from him. This is gonna go somewhere. And then, like, 2 months July 25th, our official date. So that's it for today's story time slash mukbang. This is long story time. Maybe, I don't know how to make this short. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think it was such a good story time. If not, then oh well. Like and comment some questions you want me to answer, because I'm thinking of doing Q&A. And I can't do a Q&A without some questions. So, and subscribe. We're getting somewhere, guys. I finally got 1K, 1,000. That's a good amount. It's pretty good. Thank you. So yeah, sorry, Isaiah just called. Speaking of the sweet devil, comment questions or DM me on Instagram. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys next time.